Okay. Yeah. Setup capture is one of the method to capture the installation. Okay. Whatever package you will create, that will be captured here. You already know methods like creating an MSI. Okay. You know MSI, creating an MST. You know how to script. Okay. In the script also you can keep the MSI or EXE, or you can give permissions using the script. Okay. So you know two methods like I'm using an MSI and using a script for even if it is an EXE. Okay. So the other method is like setup capture. Setup itself is nothing but the EXEs. Okay. Setup is the EXEs. And what you will do, you will capture, just like we record a video, we'll record the steps which are done by the setup.exe. Okay. You will record the steps which the setup.exe will do. What are the steps? See, if you are just double clicking it, it will give a next window, installation window. Okay, it will give some windows, right? Like English. Now you have selected in English. Now you have clicked on next. Now you will select I agree, like that. So whatever you select or deselect here, all these steps we will capture. Okay, we will capture and we'll use it to create a package. How we will capture? First, there are some steps. Okay, the first step is to take a clean machine. Okay, your packaging machine should be a clean machine. Means in the control panel, you should not have any unnecessary installations. Okay, if you think that some applications are not necessary, you should uninstall it or try to take a fresh machine. In your organization, if they are using VMs are like virtual machines. Okay, which are not physical machines, but these are like cloned machines. Okay, not physical machines. If you're not understanding also, you can skip this step. Okay, these are nothing but machines on which you will create packages. Okay, so you will take a clean machine, which is a fresh machine with no installation, or if the machine has the installations, you will delete the unnecessary installations so that your machine is very much clean. Okay, and it's also a good practice to always uninstall a package after you install it or after you package it in the system. Okay, so after you take a clean machine, what you will do? This is first step as well. Clean machine, which is a physical machine or a VM machine. Okay, and second step is you will install the package. Okay, so before what the setup capture will do, it will capture the system before the installation. Now I am going to install the VLC media player. So what it will do, before the installation of VLC media player, the system will capture what is the state of the system. Like in this machine, what are all the files present, what are all the softwares present. The application tool will capture the advanced installer tool will capture the system before the installation. Okay, it will capture and keep one copy, and then installation will happen. Okay, actual installation will happen. Now let's change this to launch the advanced installer tool. Okay, if there is any other tool you are using, that also is fine. Take a clean machine, launch the copy the binary file. Okay, anyway you will copy the binary file which needs to be packaged or installed, and setup capture. You will capture the system before the installation. When you don't install this one, before installing this actual source, you will capture what is the state of this particular PC. Okay, and then you will install the software. What is your software here? VLC. Okay, VLC media player. So next, after completion of the software, You can also set some settings, like if you want to change anything in the shortcuts, or if you want to copy any files, that also you can do and show you practically in the preferences also. And the last step is it will capture again. Okay, capture after installation. Now you have taken a capture, just like a video, the status of the system before the installation, and then you install the software and you have captured the installation again, captured the system, capture after installation. What you have captured? You captured the system after installation. So what we will do is, the tool will do is, it will compare the two captures which we have taken, two videos or the two snapshots which we have taken. Okay, we'll also call it as a snapshot method also, setup capture. Okay, compare the two captures before installation and after installation. It will compare. It will compare both of this and give us the changes. What will be the changes that has been happened? Before installation, we don't have the VLC files. Okay, VLC application is not there in the system, in the control panel. VLC installation directory is not there. VLC registries are not there before. So when you capture two videos, okay, two times, before the installation, the system doesn't have these three things, and after the installation, the system has these three things. So the final output will be an MSI. You can also make it a MSIX also. Okay, the final output will be a single file. Okay, mostly MSI, and this MSI is nothing but the package which we are creating, vlc.msi you will create, and this MSI will contain all these three, the application VLC related information, installation directory, files, registries, whatever are there. Okay, just go through the steps and tell me if you have any doubt. Hopefully Prince and Sitaram are seeing for the first time. So tell me, go through the steps first, then I'll tell why we are doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
What are the cases we are using the setup capture for the Excel?
What are the?
Which cases are you are using to set up capture?
I'm not getting you. You are telling the tool, or what are the steps you are telling?
Actually, EXE ఏ కేసెస్ లో వాడతాము?
చెప్తాను. అదే అసలు ఇది అర్థమైతే అది చెప్తామని చూస్తాను. ఓకే, ప్రిన్స్ అండ్ సీతారాం, మీకు అర్థమైందా? హ్యావ్ యూ అండర్స్టూడ్? Okay, we'll take two captures and just like two videos, and we'll compare the two videos, and we'll whatever is the changes, that changes is nothing but the application. Okay, I'll show you practically, you will get it. And mostly setup capture we'll do when we don't have any silent switches. Okay, when we don't have any kind of silent switches, we'll do the setup capture. You understood, right? Silent switches. When you have silent switches, usually we'll do with the silent switches. If it has a silent switch of S, right? For example, vlc.exe/s, and we'll install it directly. Or we'll take a script, and in the script also we'll use the same silent command. But if you don't have the silent command, then it won't be called as packaging. Okay, what is the purpose of packaging? The purpose of packaging is to provide a single installer which will install silently. Okay, the purpose is to provide a single installer which will install silently. When the particular software doesn't have any kind of silent switches, okay, then you need to capture the package. Again, the last I'll tell you what not to be packaged also. Okay, mostly the scenario is when you don't have a silent switch, you will capture this application. Or you can also do capture if you want to place some files, right? You can also just blindly open a plain tool, advanced installer tool. You can just launch it, copy the files which you want to copy. Okay, whatever actions you want to do, some small actions. Okay, and then you can end the capture. Like during setup capture, mostly you will capture the setup, given setup only. If not, also if you want to create your own package with copying files or doing some changes, creating shortcuts like that also you can do. Okay, and setup.exes are also called as legacy setup. Okay, in interviews they'll ask you how you will deal with legacy applications or legacy setup. Okay, legacy setup is nothing but the exes, the compressed applications. Okay, let's see one capture now. I have just launched the advanced installer tool, and now we have repackaging the installation. Whenever you open the tool, right, you can also install the trial version I told you. When you keep the cursor here, it will show you like what is the purpose of it. Okay, this importing repackaging is like for licensing related application. Okay, previous repackaging, create a project starting from results of a previous repackaging operation. Means if you want to do something using the earlier MSTs or MSS, then you can use it, import that particular MSI here. Okay, if you want to open any kind of MSI and you want to import those changes, then you will use it. Repackage installation is nothing but the setup capture. If you see there, you can read out there, capture and repackage existing installations. You need administrator privileges to continue. Okay, anyway, this is a system in which I logged in as an admin. Okay, and repackaging session is something where you can copy files, create shortcuts, and create folders, create any file associations like that. Okay, so and this one is for MSI to EXE. Directly if you have an MSI and you want to convert it into EXE, okay, you can convert it. Here also you can import only an MSI. Here you can import MSTs also. This is for creation of MSIX. Okay, this is for quick MSIX to MSIX. MSI to MSIX means the extension will change immediately. Okay, right now our topic is repackage installation capture. So I'm double clicking this one. Now I have to select my file which I want to do the package. My binary is here. Okay, binary or source we'll say. Okay. Now I'm selecting this one and clicking on open. I just clicked on repackage installation and then selected the source file which I want to capture. Okay. So what is the setup path? You can give the path here from which you're taking the exe. And then click on start local. Okay, it will start the capture. What you have to do? First you have to capture the system of its state. Okay, state of the system. Now it is asking where you want to save the output. Okay, or the capture finally. So now I am selecting D drive, training and packages, and this is the capture. Okay, first capture. And my application name is VLC. So I'm changing the name to VLC. If you want to give version also, you can give. First it is checking the system state. Here there is checking the machine state. If you want to check the other services also, remote desktop services or any pending reboot, we can check that option. The application was open, that's why it is not. One window came, right? In that you can check the boxes like check this service like that. That I will also check. Okay, that window gone by itself actually. So the capture has started and it will show the installation window once the initial setup is done. Initial snapshot is done. You can also see what is happening over here. Okay, checking the machine state, starting system scan, capturing system state, processing the initial system snapshot. Okay. Now installing packages. After capturing the first state or the first step, we launch the shortcut and setup capture. The system capture is done. Now the actual installation is happening. Okay. Now the actual installation, automatically it will launch this window of installation. Okay. You can select your options. Okay. If you want to select whatever. So my option is like a default kind of installation. Here also you can customize here. See, if you want to do it in an MSI, you have to open an MSI and do. For this application, you don't have an MSI. Okay, so you are doing like this. So if you want to disable any kind of shortcuts, there are two shortcuts. One is in the start menu, one is in the desktop. So if I don't want a desktop shortcut, I can uncheck it. Okay, if you want to add any additional plugins which are coming in this exe only, I can install it. Okay, I can file associations like audio files with which file it should open like that. It is already decided in this one. Okay, it is already set. If you want to disable it, you can disable. Like this VLC player should not contain any audio. Video is enough for me, or else audio is enough for me. Video is not enough. Okay, if there is any kind of things, you can select here, customize like that only. Okay. So the use of setup capture is like one thing. Even if you're not having the silent switches, you are able to create an MSI at the output. Okay. And also you can customize or you can select the features or options. These are nothing but features, right? When you create an MSI, these all will be converted into features. Okay. So you can select the option which you want or which you don't want in the captures. I'm clicking on next. I want the same installation directory. I don't want to change. If I want to change also, I can browse and change this. Okay. Now the installation is happening. I can keep it if I want to launch the media player. Okay. Now the shortcut has launched. Now the advantage is like you can also make changes to the shortcut and capture. Okay. So allow media network, register regular VLC updates. Okay. So continue. I'm clicking on continue and I can also change the preferences if I want. Here preferences in like this is related to tools, right? So if I want to change anything inside the VLC, like show controls in full screen mode, integrate video in interface, start in minimal view. Okay, it is showing the view. Here the view is also changing. Okay, so if you want to customize any kind of option based on the vendor requirement or the person who is requesting you is asking you to make some changes to this. He wants the updates to be checked in every 1 day. Okay, then you can set it like this. Easily you have to set it here and the system will capture everything over here, and when you install it, automatically it will install for every user, right? When you are creating an MSI and deploying to a few machines, every machine will get this particular change which you are doing here. Okay, so you can configure like this and you can click on save. Once you are done, you can close everything and it will ask you an option like when you are done with making the changes, when you are done with making changes to your application or the shortcuts or anything in the system, please click on OK so that I can take the second capture. Okay. I clicked on OK and it is proceeding with the capture. You can see the progress like this. Okay, we can wait till it is done. So once it is done, you can give your application names, version. What is the version? It is 2.2.4. 2.2.4. Okay. Company, publisher. You can change it if you want. Okay. If you know clearly, you can change it, or else you can leave it default. Okay. Okay, you can select the output whether it should be a MSI or an MSIX or an API package. API is not relevant mostly, so you can select an MSI or MSIX package. Okay, so now let's open this one in the advanced installer. Okay, before that, if you see, we have changed the name and also there is a digital signature. Digital signature is not necessary for MSIs. If you are selecting MSIX, then you should enable this digital signature. Okay, so that you can tell that the MSIX is created by this advanced installer. Just for information purpose, you need to sign it. And you can see the files and folders which are created by the package over here. You can see the registries which are captured. Okay, you can see the system related information, means where the shortcut is formed, what are the files and folders related to this. Okay, so mostly one more advantage in setup capture is that you can capture the application and create an MSI, and you can also remove the unwanted files. Okay, whenever you capture an application, you should check the files and registries which are formed by the application, and if there are any additional files which are not necessary, okay, additional files or registries which are not necessary for your application or which are related to some other application, okay, so you should do a cleanup inside the MSI or the output of the capture, so that the MSI will contain only your package related application, okay, related files. Okay, how you will do the cleanup is how you will delete the unnecessary files. Here you can see what are the files, where this has been formed. Okay, if you want to delete any, but suppose you don't want this INA, for example, okay, you can just uncheck it. Then this particular file won't be part of your MSI. Okay, if you see this MSI is not formed yet. Okay, this is a RPP format. RPK, I think RPK. Yeah, RPK format it is in. So if you don't want something, just uncheck it and it will get removed from the package after the next step. Similarly, you can go through everything. You can see the names. How you will see, mostly the naming will be same for the application. Okay, if you found any kind of other application related files, names, or some folders which are unwanted folders, okay, unnecessary, so you can delete them. If you see some empty folders also, you can delete. See, here there is a program menu folder. So if you see any, cleanup is what? Remove empty folders, remove 0 KB files. Sometimes some files will be present, but they don't have any kind of data. Okay, 0 KB, you understood, right? The size. For this VLC, how much it is? It is 29819 KB. For some files, it will be 0 KB. Those will be formed, but the file will be of 0 KB. Okay. In that case, you can delete that 0 KB files which are not necessary. You can remove empty folders, even if it is related to your application, if it is not needed. Okay. And also remove unwanted folders or files which are related to other applications, even registries also. Mostly by looking at it, you will know, and I'll tell you the other way also to how to do it. Okay. So you can go through this and uncheck or check. Okay. Registries also you can go through this. Everything you have to go through. Okay. It's not blindly you will do. When you're doing a setup capture, you should do. Here there are some authorized cookies, live. Okay. But if you see inside it, okay. So this doesn't seem to be some necessary data, hash value. So you have a copy of it. Always have a copy of the capture remove the files, okay, and then install the MSI and check. You're getting right. Once you capture and create an MSI, take backup of that MSI. Take backup of MSI. Here, this is in state of RPK file. Here also you can do changes, but before that you can take a copy, save as, okay, save a copy somewhere. Here also you can do VLC for capturing backup, VLC backup dot RPP or RPK. So you can save a copy and then make the changes. Why you have to save a copy? Because if you delete some file and build it and create an MSI and then install the MSI and the MSI is not working. Okay, you have deleted one file or registry and you have created a build, clicked on build and it is created an MSI as an output, and when you install that MSI, you are getting error. The application is not installing fine, or while launching the shortcut the application is not launching fine. Okay, then that might be due to the deletion of this particular file. Okay, so better you have a backup of everything you do. Okay, even at this state is also fine, or after creating the MSI is also fine. Okay, if you want to delete anything, just uncheck the option, then it will be getting deleted. Okay, this is system related information. If you don't want any kind of shortcut, here in the program menu there is a folder which is found video and documentation link, all these are there. So if you don't want something to be there, you can uncheck it. Okay, so after checking this information and unchecking which is not necessary, you can open this in the advanced installer. Okay, again in the advanced installer. Now it will open in a MSI format. If you see, this is a friendly format which you already know, the MSI related format it has formed. It is importing the files and folders which are captured. Here in this MSI also you can do the cleanup. Cleanup is necessary. Whenever you do a setup capture, cleanup is necessary. Okay. In this state, you can come to files and folders and see what are all the files here. Okay. You can just click on a file and delete it. Okay. You can add files here. You also know how to do a copy and paste package, how to add applications, how to create folder. I have already shown you earlier in an MSI classes. If you don't know, you can go through that. Okay. So here also you can do the cleanup. Okay. And after you have done with everything, you can click on build here. Okay, just click on build and you have to this is the package ready. Okay, now this is the final package. Now the MSI will be formed in the location, same location which you have selected. This is in process. The MSI is in process. What is the location we have selected? Under TR packages, final package. Okay. Here in the setup files, the MSI will be formed here. That is in progress. So it is showing like this. Okay. So this is the AAP file which is formed, and you cannot bother about these files actually which are created. You can just remember the extension if needed. You should also go through the setup capture of install shield. In the internet you will have bundle of videos. Okay, if you have the trial version, you can. I tried for trial version but it is not available, so you can go with the admin studio setup capture using admin studio and the internet. That is another tool which will show the setup capture in a different way. Okay, so you also go through it so that you will get to know. In the interviews mostly they'll ask about admin studio related things only because this is widely used. Okay, go through that also. Okay, now the MSI is created here. See, this is the final MSI which is created. Okay, now what we have to do, if you see that during capture we have installed the application. Okay, during capture we have installed the application. So this already got installed here. VLC is already installed. Okay, let me first uninstall the application. Okay, because we have to run our MSI and see whether it is working fine or not. Okay, I have uninstalled it. Let's check the MSI. After this, I'll also tell you about the Beyond Compare tool. Okay, this is the final package which has been created. This is the MSI. Okay, mostly this MSI alone is fine. I'm just copying the MSI outside here. Okay, the final output is here. I'm just running it. Only MSI I'm running. Okay, I'm not running the setup. Oh. Okay. The installation has been complete. Clicking on finish and the files has been created. I already told you earlier, right? You can compare the files of the installation and the source also. Whenever you install a source, you can remember the size and you can remember the files which are in it and you can compare and check. That is one way. Okay, you can see the size, yeah, size and number of files you can check. Now I have installed my MSI and the video VLC media player is installed and I have the shortcut also. I can just launch my shortcut and check whether it is working fine or not. Okay, this is launching fine without any errors. So whenever you create an application, you have to install it. You have to also launch each and every shortcut present in the application and check whether it is launching fine or not. Okay, if the requirement requester has given you documentation with any kind of particular things you need to check inside the shortcut also, then you can follow the documentation and do. Okay, if they tell you like just launch it and click on tools and check the preferences. Okay, if it tell you any kind of things with the documentation, you can definitely check using the documentation and check here whether that particular thing is working or not to check the functionality, because we are not the vendor, we are not the persons who will be using it regularly, so we don't know what exactly needs to be checked. So first thing is launch each and every shortcut which comes with the application, and then the any specific things mentioned in the documentation. Mostly the desktop shortcut won't be needed in some organizations, so if you don't want, you can uncheck it during the capture or you can delete it inside the MSI. Okay, and also you need to check the program menu shortcuts. Here in the start menu or the program menu, will say, you can see like what are all the shortcuts that are present. Okay, it is created like this actually. Okay, video LAN. Okay, and under this, these are this many shortcuts: VLC media, VLC skin, reset preferences, website, documentation. So as a package, you should launch each and every shortcut and check whether it is launching fine or not. Okay, and we have done the capture and we have made the exe into a MSI, and we can also uh, uninstall that one. Install silently and uninstall. Now I am uninstalling it. Let's run the MSI silently and check whether it is installing fine or not. You got it right. We captured, we created an MSI, we manually installed the MSI and check whether it is working fine or not. Okay. And now we are opening a command prompt to check whether the MSI is working silently or not. Always open the command prompt as an admin. Go to this path in the command prompt. How you will go to this path? You can type cd current directory and give the path. Enter. And oh, sorry, this is in D drive, right? I'm checking in the D drive. So I'm going to D drive by clicking this D colon, and then I'm asking to go to the current directory. Okay, it already went to the current directory anyway. So in this I have the MSI. So I'm running the MSI with what I have to do. I have to run with the silent switch. If I want to see the progress /QB, always prefer QN only. Okay. First manually check the MSI and then prefer the QN. Okay. During installation it is mostly fine, but during uninstallation, right? Sometimes if you give QB, if the previous application is not present, you are trying to uninstall it with QB means that will give a prompt, that will give a window actually for uninstallation. That's why I always try to prefer a QN always to avoid the gaps. So now I am installing the created MSI which we created using the silent switch. Okay. During MSI installation, what you can check whether our MSI is working or not. We have to check the process which is running by the MSI. Okay, if I'm running an MSI, right? So it's got already installed. Actually, I have run this silently, so this got installed here. VLC, this got installed, and I have the shortcut which is there. I have the remaining shortcuts. Okay, these are all shortcuts. You should count the shortcuts. There are 6 shortcuts, and all are there. Okay, now what am I telling? Okay. While running the MSI silently also, actually, you can see that this particular MSI EXEC is running here. Okay. So when more than one MSI EXEC is running, then you can ensure that your MSI is running. Okay. And also every time the Windows installer service should be in a start mode, unless if the Windows installer service is not active, right, then your application won't get installed. Your MSI, not application. MSIs will work based on the Windows installer service. Okay. This installer service should be in a running mode. Then only you can run the MSI. If you are unable to run any kind of MSI in your system, you can just check whether this particular service is running or not. Okay. You can start like that. If it is not running, you can restart it. Okay, now I showed you how to create an MSI using the capture and how to install it. Okay, and also we can uninstall it. Okay, before that, now we have installed the package using the MSI which we have created. Okay, the package, the MSI which we have created, on installing we got this folder. So now I am taking this folder. Okay, and this is the output. This folder is nothing but the output of a MSI which I have created. Okay, I'm just taking copy so that I can show you, like, compare the source and the final MSI. This is the folder formed by the MSI. Now I'm uninstalling the MSI. I have just taken that folder copy when I installed through MSI. Now I will also install the binary or the source file, and I'll show you how to compare the files. Now the VLC got uninstalled. Shortcuts also gone. Okay. Every time during uninstallation, what all you should check? Shortcuts, control panel, and the installation directory. Installation directory should be totally removed, or at least it should be empty. Okay. If it is not empty, again you should write a script to get it deleted. Okay. Now this folder is empty. Now what I am doing, I have uninstalled everything in my machine. The VLC I have uninstalled. Now I am installing the binary or the source file which I got. The plain installation. I am not doing any capture here. I am just running the exe which has been given to me, or the legacy setup which has been given to me. Okay. After installation, again this folder has got this folder. How we got this folder? Due to the setup.exe installation, now I got this folder. Earlier, by installing MSI, I have taken a backup, and now I have taken the installation directory which is created by the source, which is nothing but exe. Okay. Now I'm uninstalling. I'm uninstalling the application. I'll show you how to compare the installation files and the binary files. See. Now what you have two folders. Forget about everything, just remember. This one is the output of the binary which he has been given to you, and this is the output of the MSI which you created by the package, okay, through the package or the tool, advanced installer tool. Now I have a tool called Beyond Compare, okay. Launch the shortcut. Okay. Now open, oh not open, sorry. I launched it earlier, that's why it's showing as open. These are the options you have. Okay. You can compare folders. I clicked on folder compare. Now in the right hand side, in the left hand side, I am selecting the folder which I have created through my package. Where is my, this is, sorry, snapshot. Here. In the output, what I have first, this is the exe file. So first this side I am selecting what is on the exe. Okay, this is the output of the exe or the source file given by the vendor. Now in the other side I am selecting the output of the package which I have created. Okay, the folder installation directory. If you see here, now I am comparing the files in the source exe and the MSI which I have created. If you see the gray color, right, skin application folder is there and it's in gray color. Gray color means same application or same folder is existing. If you have some color change, mostly the purple or the red here. So here there is a URL, URL is there. There are some changes in this URL. If you see the timestamp here, video on website.url, timestamp is 8/27/14. Here the timestamp is 8:49:35. That's why it is showing like this. Okay. So there is a difference in both these URLs. The timestamp, you can open and also check these files whether there is any other change. The change I can see is the timestamp here. Okay. This also timestamp only. Okay. And this one purple means this file is present in the source file, but this is not present in the MSI. Usually we don't provide uninstall.exe in the installation directory. Why we won't provide uninstall.exe? Any idea? In the installation directory, why we won't keep uninstallation.exe? Because if the users have a privileges, right, so they can uninstall the application using the uninstall.exe from here. If you are providing the uninstallation directory in the uninstall.exe in the installation directory, they can uninstall by the application by themselves. Okay. For security purpose, we are doing that. So by Beyond Compare, what you can do? You can compare two particular folders in the you can compare the two particular folders here, and you can see like what is the timestamp change for the files, what are the files present in the exe or not present in the exe. Okay. Now you can also copy this file from this folder to this folder. See, this file is present in this exe but not in the output MSI folder. If you want to copy, you can just click on copy to right. See, now this file got copied to the other folder. This step you understood? This file is only there in the exe. Now I just clicked on it, copy to right side, then it got copied over here. This will also get copied to this folder. I'm copying from MSI to exe, and what is the file I have copied? Uninstall.log.
Like, yeah, yes, copy file is okay, but we have to first troubleshoot why it is not coming on install exe, right?
No, usually uninstall exe is not preferred. Okay. One thing is, it is not referred to be there in the MSI. So while capturing, it will get removed if there is any uninstall.exe. If you still want that to be present, you can just take this file. Okay, you can come to the exe folder, take the particular file which you want. Okay, and go to the advanced installer, open the MSI, go to the files and folders section. Where is it? You can add it directly. That's why we are using beyond compare, right? The reason why it has not come is one thing that is not required, or other thing that is not like that has been missed. Okay, so you can check where it should be present. This is the path where it should be present. You can just click on the files and folders, add file,
Yes, uninstall
and
is
add the file.
directly we are using the uninstallation necessary.
Yeah, you can use, but users don't know, right? See, some IT person has logged in, okay, or some non-IT person has logged in. He just want to uninstall his application. Some users don't know how to open the control panel also, They just open here and they will get stuck, what to be opened. Some people don't know how to go here and how to uninstall the application from here. They don't know. They just work on their own projects. They don't know how to use the uninstallation or installations also, many of them. You don't believe, but they don't know how to do it. And so that when the IT person connects, they will do from control panel, or they will do from the uninstall.exe, which is present in the installation directory. Usually we won't give uninstallation.exe here because this is already present in the control panel, and this control panel is being handled by the administrator. So this can be uninstalled by the administrator, the IT person, or the SCCM team, or the packaging team only. Okay. If by chance the user has the privileges to the installation directory, assume that the user has been given permissions to the program files. The complete program files, he has the full access. He has full permissions here. Then whatever folder comes in here, he can delete, right? This is a system related, not user. So if he has permissions, he can just delete, continue, and the folder will get deleted. Similarly, he can go to the uninstall.exe and double click it and run the uninstall.exe. In some cases, that file might uninstall the application even if the user want it. User is not the one who will decide what he want. Actually, the organization will decide like what is the project, what is the software he needed. Okay, you understood? వాళ్ళకి ఏది కావాలి అనే దాన్ని బట్టి వాళ్ళకి సాఫ్ట్వేర్ అసైన్ అయి ఉంటాయి. యూజర్ అన్నెసెసరీగా దాన్ని అన్ఇన్స్టాల్ చేయకూడదు. ఓకే, ఈవెన్ ఇఫ్ దే డోంట్ ఫీల్ దే డోంట్ వాంట్, దే హ్యావ్ టు రైజ్ అ టికెట్ అండ్ దే హ్యావ్ టు గెట్ ఇట్ అన్ఇన్స్టాల్డ్. Okay, so to avoid the user to uninstall by himself, you will not prefer to give the uninstall.exe. If you still think the uninstall.exe is needed, definitely you can open your application and add that exe which is missing. Mostly the missing part will be like depending upon the tool. If the tool already knows that that is not required, one or two files might get missed. Okay, if you still think the files are needed, that's why we are comparing here using the beyond compare, and whatever is file is needed, whatever changes are made, that you can identify and go back to your application and make that particular application to the make that changes to the files or folders which you have created, and again add it to your application. If you want to replace this URL, just go to the file which is already there here. Okay, go to that particular file, make the changes, save it. Now come here, delete this folder and delete this particular file, whatever I'm talking about, this particular file, delete it and add the new file. అర్థమైందా? మీకు ఏ చేంజెస్ ఉన్నాయో అవి బయట చేసుకొని, ఇలా డైరెక్టరీలో బయట చేసుకొని ఆ ఫైల్ని తీసుకొచ్చి దీంట్లో యాడ్ చేయాలి. అందుకే బియాండ్ కంపేర్ ఉంది. బియాండ్ కంపేర్ ఏం మిస్ అవుతుంది, వాట్ ఆర్ ఆల్ ఆర్ మిస్సింగ్, వాట్ ఆర్ ఆల్ మోడిఫైడ్, యూ కెన్ చెక్ ఓవర్ హియర్. ఓకే, అండ్ దెన్ యూ కెన్ డిసైడ్ వాట్ ఆర్ ఆల్ మిస్సింగ్, వాట్ యూ కెన్ యాడ్, వాట్ యూ కెన్ డిలీట్, లైక్ దట్. ఓకే, ఏ ఫైల్ అయినా మనకు వద్దు అంటే డిలీట్ చేయొచ్చు, కావాలి అనుకుంటే మనం యాడ్ చేయొచ్చు. ఒకవేళ లేదు, ఇఫ్ యూ థింక్ దట్ దిస్ క్యాప్చర్ ఈస్ నాట్ కరెక్ట్, మెనీ ఫైల్స్ ఆర్ మిస్సింగ్, యూ కెన్ రీక్యాప్చర్ ద అప్లికేషన్. If you think there is a major difference between the setup.exe and the MSI, you can recapture the application.
Yes, Amulya, got it.
Okay. Oh. Then, okay. I showed you how to compare the folders, right? How to compare the text files, text compare. Okay, what I have clicked on? I have clicked on the text compare option. Now, similarly, now I'll select a file here. Earlier, I selected a folder, right? So now I'm selecting a file. cnpvc.manifest something. By default, I'm selecting. Okay. Now, the okay, see. I'm comparing two files. One file is in npvlc dll manifest in the VLC folder. The other one is different folder. These are two different folders, but the same file. I'm comparing whether this file is right and this file is same or not. Two files, any two files. Okay. If you want to avoid the confusion, you can first I can open through the exe. Always open the exe on the left side, your left side. I'm opening again, guys, just to avoid confusion. First I'm opening the file in the exe, source file. Okay. Now I'll open the file in the MSI which I have created. DLL, sorry. DLL మనం రీడ్ చేయలేము. ఈ ఫైల్ దీంట్లో లేనట్టుంది. చూద్దాం ఎందుకు మిస్ అయింది. If you think something is missing, right, you can go with recapture. As of now, I'm just copying just to show you. See, these two files are there, same files in a different location. If they are in gray, that means that the application data is same. See, by any chance, if there is some additional data, okay, then you can see it in red. Okay, some color change will be there. You can compare whether it is a timestamp or whether it is a size, like that. In text file, anyway, that is not a timestamp, right? Inside text file, you don't see a timestamp. So you can compare the data. If you think this data should be present in this new packaged file also, you can just click on the arrow and the data will be shifted over here. Okay. What it is? I just clicked on this arrow. This arrow will just copy this data to this folder. Now you can just save it here. Okay. You can save this file directly here. Now the file in this location will be saved. Or you can save here so that this file will be saved. Okay. So you can do like that. You can just simply transfer data. Okay. You can also compare the files and check what is missing, what is not needed, like that. And you can also merge two files. You can just select two files. I have clicked on text merge. Text merge is the option I have clicked. Okay. I am selecting two different files manifest. Okay. So two different files. The location of the file is here. See, these two data is added here. You have to select whether this should be added to this or this should be added to this. Okay. So if you are selecting right, the total data will be saved to this file. It will show you which file it is. AXVLCTCC. This file will be the final file with the data of this file and then this file also. If you are selecting the left, this data will come and sit in this file and the final output will be this file. This here you can see the name npblcdll.manifest. So finally you can save it here. You can save the file. The final output will be saved in this manifest file. Okay, so you can merge the files like this. You can compare the folders. You can compare the files. You can merge the folders. Okay, sync is also fine. Anyway, sync we don't use. These fours you can use. Okay, if somebody asks you in the interview like how you will compare, how you will do the comparison after the setup capture, you can tell about this beyond compare tool which I have shown you. Okay, so today we discussed about the setup capture. Setup capture is usually done when there is no silent switch or you want to make your own customized installer. Okay, you have some specifications, you want to create your own installer, then you can go with a setup capture. When you have a silent switch, it is not required or it is not preferred to setup capture. And we can't capture few applications. Okay, so this. Usually when you have a silent switch, you cannot do a capture. Okay, when it is an MSI, you should not do any capture. Okay, you should not do any capture for the vendor MSI. Okay, because the MSI is already built by the vendor with, and it has some internal tables which we called as database. Okay, and this setting will be disturbed and the MSI behavior will be corrupted. So it is not preferred to package or capture a MSI. Okay, you can repackage using an MST, but you should not capture any kind of MSI. And some device drivers. Okay, drivers also have some sensitive data. Okay, which is related to some operating system. Okay, mostly operating system and hardware related information. Okay, so if you are capturing it, that data will not be appropriate. That data will be corrupted similar to that of an MSI. Drivers are predefined. Okay, those are created by the vendor in such a way that you should not touch them. Okay, if you capture them, some other additional files might get involved or something might be corrupted, something might be missed. Okay, several things can happen. So it is not preferred to capture a driver, and also MSI applications, and mainly the vendor related applications. Okay. You can also go through this topic. You can also find 2-3 more options where you cannot do setup capture. So what are the interview questions you should get? When to do a setup capture, then when you should not go with the setup capture, what is the cleanup you'll do after setup capture, what is the process, okay, before after that process you should explain. Even if the tool is different, the process is same only. Okay, you will always have a clean machine, launch your tool, capture the initial state of the system, install the software, capture again, compare the two captures, and then the output will be a single installer, which is nothing but an MSI mostly. Okay, so what is the process of setup capture? How can you compare the initial capture and the after capture files? Okay, so how to compare? I told you about the beyond compare, right? You can go with the beyond compare. You can go with comparing the folders count and all. Okay, registries you can't directly see. So inside MSI you can check what are the registries, whether they are relevant or not. Cleanup is the major part in the setup capture. Okay. Today we have discussed about the beyond compare tool and the setup capture. Okay, when drivers, right, I will explain you in the next classes while we continue with the interview questions. And the next 2 classes will be only interview questions. Okay, so please be present for the classes, and we'll continue. If something is missing there, we will cover over there. Okay, I think I'm done. Any more doubts? Okay then guys, go through the videos, all the videos mostly which we have taught till today, okay? So that in the next week we'll schedule 2 more classes and we'll prepare for the interview and the resumes also. Okay? Yeah. Thank you for attending guys. Have a good day. Bye.
Okay.